Vacheron Constantin needs to do something this year. I don't care what. Otherwise, we have to reconsider their position in the Holy Trinity and replace it with Invicta for all I care.
That's too much. I think you do have a point. I think they need to focus on the models that people actually care about. I think they need more support from Richemont, and I think they need some outside influence as well to shake up what has become a little bit stale. This is Grand Complications, and today we're talking about why no one cares about Vacheron and maybe what they can do a little differently. I'm Thomas Hendricks, this is Balazs Ferenczi. Let's dive in. To their credit, they have good watches. They just have a lot of other stuff that they're spending too much time and energy on and not focusing what actually gets watch enthusiasts excited.
Yeah, they have 10 collections. Too many.
Double digits, damn.
Yeah, as far as I remember, it's 10 collections for a brand that produces not too many watches a year. I think it's just really a lot.
And when I think of Vacheron, I think of maybe 3.
222.
Yep.
Historique.
Yep.
1921.
And overseas.
Overseas, yeah. Then you have maybe chronographs like the Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah, but that's digging a little bit deeper.
Yeah, you're right. So the 222 is, or
awesome.
Let me ask
awesome.
you. Yeah, let me ask you. So the overseas was Vacheron. Is the 222 now Vacheron? That's the flagship model?
I think they should be doing both, and I think one thing that they're really missing is they need tiers of watches. You need an absolute grail like the 222. You need something very high-end but still attainable like the overseas. You need your more niche horological stuff like the Complications, and you need more entry-level stuff so that you can get people into the brand and getting them working their way up the wait list. They probably don't have any wait lists right now.
Do you think they're pushing the 222 enough?
They made like 3 of them like 3 years ago. It was the watch of the year, and then they stopped. They need more gold. They need a white gold or a platinum or a steel maybe. It's just they had all this momentum and then it died.
Yeah, and I think that they're a bit too late to the party.
Always.
Always, when it comes to integrated bracelet sports models, steel or otherwise.
Yeah.
But that is, the 222 is really a great opportunity to do something good or to push the brand. And I think they need to separate marketing with watchmaking, right? And push the other models as well, because they're not doing it right now.
Yeah, I think people were very happy to have a 222 that was not a Nautilus and not a Royal Oak, but incredibly awesome and at that echelon. And then you need 5 other really good watches that people get excited about. And then lose the Metier d'Art collection. I think you lose a lot of the women's stuff. And I think you lose a lot of like the really niche high complication stuff. They're doing a lot of high horology just to prove that they can do high horology, which feels like research and development without the sales to recoup that investment.
Yeah, that is great, but it's, we know that they can do that, right? You don't need to showcase everything.
Yeah.
You just have to focus on the stuff that sells.
Great, you made one watch with 14 different complications. Right. Congratulations.
Yeah, right. But I think that, the 222 is really taking over. Oh, maybe it's not taking over the overseas, because overseas is still, the Vacheron Constantin model.
There's like 3 222s out there in the world.
Yeah.
It's not taking over anything. Yeah.
But they should.
Yeah.
They should focus on it. Yeah.
Make some. Yeah.
Make some different colors, different sizes even, different materials.
And when it comes to the overseas, we saw this a lot in 2023. They're so dependent on the retrograde feature, which is a signature for them, but not a super sexy signature. I would rather see them go back into things like the dual time, for example, into the chronograph, things that are useful and have more visual appeal as well. I think there's one program they could launch this year that would really turn things around for them. And it's what we talked about at lunch earlier.
Yeah, wait. Before we get into that, let's talk a bit about marketing.
Yes.
Because we mentioned that they should do something themselves, but we shouldn't forget that there's also Richemont on top of them. And I think, and I guess we both agree on that Richemont is not really pushing Vacheron as much as perhaps they're pushing other brands.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, again, they have really good watches. I love the Corne de Vache. I love their 1921. A lot of their other classical complication watches are great. They're maybe a little bit overpriced because they are selling below retail on Chrono 24, but I think a lot of that is due to marketing. They're just not getting the love. And what is the watch industry besides marketing, really?
I mean, the industry is about smoke and mirrors, but if you look at sister companies like Cartier, for example, they're everywhere. And I guess rightfully so. While did Cartier watches all of a sudden become better? No, they just pushed them more.
Yeah, I think there's quiet luxury and Vacheron is silent luxury because you never hear a damn thing about them. Now, the one thing I think they could do is bring in some fresh blood into this very old brand. We've seen AP do this, bringing in more like pop culture feature to kind of shake up the Royal Oak and do some special editions, which
Kind of worked.
kind of works. We see Bulgari do this with the Otto Finissimo.
Absolutely.
The Tato Endo is awesome. The like mirror dial one they did is not for me, but worth doing, I would say. You have the overseas, which like the coolest thing they've done with it as of late is the retrograde complication, which is not saying much.
Yeah, I guess it's too traditional.
Yes, there's whole industries out there of artists, architects, graphic designers that could bring new life to the 1921, which is a great watch, to the 222, which is an architectural wonder, to the overseas, which has really just gotten a little bit stale at this point. I mean, the Vacheron logo, the Maltese cross, has so much potential in it. Why not use it?
Vacheron Constantin, you have to be bold, or else your customers will walk away.
You're an old brand, don't be a dead brand.
You heard the man.
This has been Brand Complications. We're taking on another problem on our next episode. Stay tuned.